What is that one key principle that you followed while building your core team? So where do you see this future of digital communication going? So is there any key advice that you want to give to the young aspiring leaders who are just starting their entrepreneurial journey?
Focus on the problem, not the technology. What they need to understand is what the technology can do. You don't have to know how the car works to basically drive it. More than words, it's the actions and the stories which really define a company.
Hello everyone, welcome to the another exciting episode of TVS Credit Fireside. I am Archana, your host for the series, and I am very excited to have you join us with us today for the second part of the episode. In the last episode, we talked with Rajesh Jain about his entrepreneurial journey, and he shared his thoughts on the critical challenges that he faced during his early career days. So in this episode, we'll cover more critical topics like data, technology, and complex terminologies like genetic AI and much more. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Hello sir, welcome to the show.
Hello Arjuna, nice to be here.
These terminologies like AI, machine learning, and you have mentioned about agentic AI. So what is these concepts?
So AI basically is, I'm sure everyone now uses ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. Basically, this is looking at patterns and then is able to predict either the next best action for a customer, or when we use the ChatGPT, the next word in a sequence. But the basic problem is almost the same, that I'm doing predictions by learning from past patterns. Where agentic AI, and this is very exciting, and especially for young people, what they need to understand is what the technology can do. You don't have to know how the car works to basically drive it. Agentic AI will be where there will be multi-agent systems talking to each other. So AI will talk to another AI. If you see Despicable Me, the movie, there is Gru. So think of Gru as a AI co-marketer. So you're a marketer. Okay, now imagine you have a co-pilot or an assistant who can help you, and that is an AI. Imagine that also different customer segments, your best customers, your young customers, your older customers, male customers, female customers, customers in Chennai versus customers in Mumbai. They all have customer segments. Now you can have an AI twin of each of these segments. So they are like digital minions. Now the co-marketer can now ask the digital minion, hey, I'm going to do a campaign for my best customers to sell them, say, some insurance or some specific product that is there. Which of these three subject lines or which of these three images are you most likely to react to? And the AI twin, which is a virtual representation of that customer segment, can actually reply back. And it could even then talk to the co-marketer and say, hey, you know what, if you changed it like this, I probably react even better. Today we use AI for getting tasks done. Here, AI will be able to get outcomes. I can say that, look, I want to grow my business in Chennai for this particular product by 15%. Now the co-marketer will be able to think, what is the kind of campaign, content, journey that I should be doing for them, which will increase the possibility of buying. So it's a fascinating world. People who are watching, a lot of what you have learned in college or in your early years in marketing, you may have to unlearn a lot of these things, because this force of AI and machine learning is a massive disruption. Once you understand how it works, you can use it to your advantage. That is, I think, the significant opportunity, because by doing this, you can maximize, remember the goal, you can maximize lifetime value of the customers you have, rather than constantly chasing new customers who are very expensive to get. Because there you're paying, you're bidding against auctions against everyone else on the adtech platforms. But look at the customers you have. If you make them happy, they will also pass it on to their friends and family. So there'll be referrals which you will get. That is, I think, the real opportunity for young marketing professionals. Think of retention and maximizing value from your current customers, rather than just going out and spending money on constant new acquisition.
So basically, retention is the key, again, as you rightly mentioned. So this was from marketer's perspective. What is there for customers' benefit?
So very good question, Arjuna. When we look at customers, their lives will become much better because they will get offers, products which are relevant for them. Like when you go to say e-commerce sites, if we see things which are not relevant for us, we will go away and they lose the opportunity of a sale. So the key is, how can brands make life better for customers? So I can always anticipate, I as a marketer can always anticipate what is the next best product which will best fit you. And for customers, I'm being surprised, I'm being delighted, by products which are meaningful for me. My time is not wasted forcing me to scroll through a lot of things which are not relevant for me. So if you see some of the good social media platforms, they do a very good job on predicting what you are likely to want to see next and what you're therefore likely to act on. I think businesses need to learn very similar. And again, the underlying key for this is really better data and better AI.
It's very surprising to see how technologies are making our lives very easier, efficient, and much more smoother and much more personalized, as you rightly mentioned.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So success is not just about making right strategies and having these right set of data. There are people behind success as well. So what is that one key principle that you followed while building your core team at Netcore?
The two things at Netcore which I've sort of focused on through our journey has been the importance of culture and the storyteller. Culture, we can write words, phrases, hang it from walls and put it on posters, but they don't mean much. It is always what the leaders basically do in their actions that define the culture of a company. Also for new joinees, how do you get them to connect with the company? And that happens through stories from the company's past. So in Netcore, Bhavna, who's our HR head, she is an amazing storyteller. Whenever she does the induction program every couple of weeks, because you have a lot of new joinees coming in, she will talk about the values, she will talk about Netcore's history of 27 years, our ups and downs. And those stories then help people connect with the company, at a very personal level. Because they're going to be spending a lot of time here. They should know something about the history. The icon for culture is our CEO, Kalpit. He's been with Netcore since day one of the company. And it's his actions. The way he interacts with people, the way he helps, guides, mentors. More than words, it's the actions and the stories which really define a company. So if anyone is thinking of building a company, I think you need these two people, a storyteller and an icon.
Nice. That's good to know, sir. I wanted to understand about this future of digital communication as well. So where do you see this future of digital communication going, and how should one be prepared for the coming challenges?
I think we are living in a great time of change. Where I see the biggest change, which will have an impact on both brands and customers, is that all our channels which were largely one-way communication channels. So when we look at email or SMS or even WhatsApp, which was largely broadcast, they are all becoming two-way. They are all becoming interactive. So now inside WhatsApp, you can actually buy things. You can pay for items. You can do polls, surveys, and this is how brands can use it, because they remove friction in the conversion funnel. There is a funnel. So there's engagement, there is conversion, there is retention. So I call this N-core. Engagement, conversion, retention. Now, at every stage of the funnel, there is friction. I send a message. It is not opened. 90%, 95% people don't react to it. So there's a big drop-off. When people come to the website or app, maybe 5% people or even lower actually buy. So there's a big friction there. Many times people will, existing customers who are there, will not buy the second time. If you go to e-commerce sites, you buy once, how many times do we buy the second time, third time? So that retention is a problem. But with all of these new digital communications technologies which are coming out, I think brands, if they use them right, will be able to build better relationships, better hotlines with their existing customers, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship.
You mentioned about WhatsApp. So what is your personal favorite app?
My favorite app has basically become ChatGPT and Claude. I write every day on my blog at rajeshjain.com. These AI utilities are actually very helpful for me to brainstorm, to think, I mean, it's almost like I'm interacting with a twin of myself sometimes, because I feel that it is able to almost take a raw idea and write it exactly the way I would have written it.
That's good to know, sir. So, before wrapping up, so is there any key advice that you want to give to the young aspiring leaders who are just starting their entrepreneurial journey?
So for them, I have this book of mine, which I wrote last year, Startup to Proficon. It's basically a book on entrepreneurship. So a Proficon, I coined this word, is a company which is bootstrapped, which is profitable, and which has scaled. My advice to entrepreneurs would be focus on the problem, not the technology. Otherwise, you'll just waste time like I wasted the first few years of my entrepreneurial life. Second is that, see, the odds of failure in an entrepreneurial venture are 99.99% or higher. Very few entrepreneurial ventures succeed. And yet, an entrepreneur believes they have a 70% chance of success. So remember that you are not going in there as an entrepreneur to increase your chance of success. You're going in there to work every day to reduce your odds of failure. The third I would say is that whatever you do, you must spend time with your family. You should not let your work consume you. Okay, and I learned this from my wife. And I want to just read out a small passage. After our son was born, after about 5 years of IVF treatment, this was in 2005, I was a workaholic all these years. So 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and I kept going to work, coming back. So after 2 months, she came up to me and said, I can raise Abhishek on my own. I don't need you for that. Just because he is sleeping most of the day doesn't mean that he cannot feel and understand. You can continue working the way you are, but one day when he grows up and you find that he doesn't have a personal relationship with you, please do not blame him or me. These initial years are very important to build that bond. Once he is older, you may have the time, but he will have moved on. It's the early years when that connection has to be forged. One touch at a time, one day at a time, the choice is yours. I see a lot of my friends, spending a lot of time at work. And I always tell them that, look, you have to make time for your family. No success is worth it at the cost of family. So that work-life balance, it's more of work-life harmony, because balance involves a sort of trade-off. I think you can harmonize work and life, because that time will never come back again.
That's a great advice, sir. I'm sure our audience will take a lot from your journey. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on entrepreneurship, innovation, technology. It has really been truly inspiring, actually. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Archana.
And to all our listeners, I hope that this episode has sparked new ideas and new inspiration. And there is much more to come. So in the next episode, we'll cover... So you've been an entrepreneur from last 30 plus years. So what has changed from that time to this time? How many books have you read actually out of these books that are there?
Young people are not afraid to take risks. Before you think of becoming an entrepreneur, please find a problem you can solve. It is very important. How are you really going to make money?
So make sure to subscribe and don't forget to follow us on social media. Until next time, keep chasing your dreams and pushing boundaries. This is Archana signing off from Fireside Chat by TVS Credit.